So this is day 7 of my tonsillectomy recovery. I'm starting. I skipped day 6, so this is kind of just going to tie together day 6 and day 7. Day 6 was definitely one of the rougher days. So partly that's the reason why we skipped it. We just kind of started off that morning, being woken up in the middle of the night, 2 hours late into taking my pain meds, and yeah, the pain was shocking and pretty strong, and just kind of went into like a state of just having to sort of just like sit there and stand and not make a move. I crushed up my pain pills into like powder and drank them liquid, and then just pretty much just stood in one spot till they started to work, because if I would move around or anything, I would just get nauseous and turn shaky, and it was, it was pretty bad, but it was, nothing, still nothing too crazy. I would still say it was like a 6 or 7, but if I didn't swallow and if I didn't move too much, if I just sort of stood still, it was under control. It's just most all the pain that I found to do with this thing is involved when you're swallowing or trying to eat. If you're not, or if you got to sneeze or you got to cough or burping, that's actually one of the worst things. Is those little burps you like get throughout the day that you hold in. Those are probably worse than coughing for some reason for me. So yeah, there was getting through that, missing the pain meds, and then the actual sloughing off thing. That's a real thing. So that actually happens, and it does get worse. So I'm in the stage right now where they say, around day 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, you're going to start to have those scabs peel off, and that's where I'm at right now. And it just makes eating and drinking and swallowing really hard, even when you're on the pain medicine. You can tolerate it more, but it's just going to be there. So it kind of feels like you're taking a step back. Um, but if you can keep in mind, like I just try to keep in mind, this means I'm moving forward, because the scab's got to come off, and then that's when the healing can take place. So we're in that stage right now. Um, Also, I just wanted to say something quickly that we stumbled on was the generic versus the name brand stuff. And it was kind of by chance that we were doing some research, and I think a guy in another post had mentioned something about the generics not being very good or whatever. And so I checked the pills that I had gotten, and it was this brand called Actavis Percocet. And we started to research them, and just horrible reviews about them, one after the other after the other. So I actually went back to my doctor, because I had ordered the pills before I had my surgery, and explained to him what was going down. He wrote me another prescription, and I did some research around town and found some more name brand stuff. But because I had already filled the prescription, I was stuck with them, and I had to wait like a full week before I could get the new one. So I was kind of stuck taking the generic stuff. But right around day 7, which was today, I was able to start taking the name brand stuff, and like the difference to me is just shocking. I mean, it makes me want to write a whole nother book just about what's going on, because with the generics, things were just like, it took like an hour and a half for the pills to kick in. They made you feel shaky. They lead you to like little glimpses of depression and anxiety, and like even like paranoia, or like little things like where you just think maybe you even saw something. I mean, just these sort of like underlaying things that are there, that now that I'm taking the name brand stuff, which did cost $155 compared to 20 for the generic, I'm taking this brand called Endoset. I mean, it kicks in with 10 minutes. It's like a warm, fuzzy, smooth, even the whole time. I feel like my mind is cleared up. I mean, it's so much different. It's unbelievable. So every pharmacist always tries to tell you the generics don't make a difference, but I can tell you in the Percocet world, they definitely do. And most of us who are getting surgeries are never going to figure this out, because it's, we just go in, we get our surgery, and you take it and you think that's what it is, and then you're done. So I felt like lucky that we stumbled on this. But definitely, if you have the money or you can figure it out, I would say it's well worth it to try to get the name brand Percocet. So it's kind of confusing. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I don't fully understand it. But the name brand stuff we found was Endocet, which, as I understand it, is Percocet is making Endocet, and it's like Percocet's official generic brand, if that makes any sense. So it's really confusing, but Endocet is the best thing I've been able to find. Don't get Actavis, but there's lots of bad stuff out there. And other than that, I was just going to show you once again the key to everything. I think for keeping off so much of the throbbing and the ear pain and all the other horrible stuff people do is this ice pack. And I just wanted to reiterate that we have 2 long women nylon socks here, and you just tie one end together and put your ice packs, which are just these little Ziploc bags of ice on each side, and fill them up, tie it around, and then we've been using like a cloth or a sock or something like that to wrap around here sometimes because it'll leak on you sometimes, but it's worked really well, and I think this is a game changer, and I'm noticing a lot of people don't seem to be doing the consistent icing around the clock, which is really key. So that's day 6 and 7. Thanks for tuning in.